Here's a housing math that no one wants to explain. Lower rates do not equal lower prices. In fact, they usually mean the opposite. We're seeing the headlines. National cancellation at record highs. Affordability panic in the coastal markets. It looks like a disaster movie, but here's the reality check. Timing beats headlines, local strategy wins. If you're thinking what's happening in New York or California applies in San Antonio in 2026, you're losing money right now. Let's look at the actual numbers before you make a decision. Everyone is screaming crisis, and on a national level, they might be right. But real estate is not national, it's hyper local. While the national media is selling fear about the housing collapse, San Antonio is doing something boring. It's staying stable. Here's the problem. You're making decisions based on data that has nothing to do with Bexar County, San Antonio. You're scared of a bubble that does not exist. Today, we're stripping away at the hype. No fluff, just raw housing math on why San Antonio is standing firm while other markets crumble, and how you can actually build equity while everyone else sits on the sidelines, terrified. The national panic versus the local reality. Let's address the elephant in the room. The national news is unsettling. You open your phone and it's doom scrolling Central 101. Cancellation rates on new builds nationally are spiking. Why? Because in volatile markets, buyers get cold feet the second the pollen hits or the wind changes. They're over leveraged and underprepared. But San Antonio is completely different. We operate on a different frequency. We are seeing what I call the SA shield. While speculative markets like Austin a few years ago or Phoenix are seeing massive price corrections, San Antonio's prices are sticky. They are not dropping off the cliff. Why? Because our buyers aren't spectators, they're end users. People live here. This is an Airbnb economy. It's a homestead economy. When you buy in Helotes or Stone Oak, you aren't competing with a hedge fund with an algorithm as much as you're competing with a family that needs a third or a fourth bedroom. That demand does not vanish because the Fed just had the sniffles. The national crisis is the crisis of speculation. The San Antonio market is a market of necessity. Understanding that difference, and you stop fearing the headlines. The boring anchors. Why boring is profitable. You want to know why San Antonio ignores the national housing crash? 2 words. Military, medical. I know it sounds boring, but boring is good. Boring builds wealth. While tech sectors in other cities are slashing jobs, Joint Base San Antonio isn't laying any soldiers off. The medical center isn't firing nurses. These are recession-resistant economies, engineers that pump billions into our economy every single year. This creates a floor for our housing market. Even if national economy creates craters, there is a baseline of demand in San Antonio that simply does not break. Officers transfer and need housing. Doctors' residencies matches happens every March. The cycle is untouchable. If you're buying near these hubs, Alamo Ranch, near Lackland, or the corridors that feed into the medical center, you're isolating your equity. You are not buying a lottery ticket. You're buying infrastructure. The math housing people ignore because it's not sexy enough for a viral tweet. But look at the long-term charts. Who wins? The steady growth of infrastructure-backed real estate every single time. Now, the Great Migration. For the last 5 short years, everyone talked about Texas migration, but in 2026, the texture of that migration changed. It's no longer everyone just wants to move is moving to Texas. It is everyone's moving to different usable parts of Texas. We're seeing a redirection. People are priced out of Austin metros and they are tired of the volatility there. They look south. They see San Antonio. They see New Braunfels. They see value. You get more house or more home. You get more land. And you get a city that feels like a community, not like a corporate campus. We are seeing buyers from California, yes, but we're also seeing Midwest, Northeast, who are done with the affordability crisis. They aren't bringing speculative cash, they are bringing life savings to put down roots. The influx keeps our inventory moving. It prevents the stagnation you see everywhere else. So when you hear housing crisis, remember, one city's crisis is another city's influx. San Antonio is on the receiving end of that equation. The affordability lies, rates versus price. This is where I need you to listen closely. This is a trap. I hear it every single day. Jesse Rosa, we're waiting for rates to drop to 4% before I buy. Let me be crystal clear. If rates drop to 4%, you won't be able to find a house to buy. Here's the math no one explains. High rates act as a filter. They suppress competition, they keep prices steady. The moment, and I mean the second rates drop significantly, every single buyer who has been sitting on the fence for the last 2 years is going to rush to the gate. Demand will skyrocket, inventory will vanish, and prices, they go vertical. So congratulations, you got your lower rate, but you paid $50,000 more for that house. Your monthly payment stays the same, but your property tax basis is higher and you have less equity upside. Waiting for the perfect rate is the most expensive mistake you can make in San Antonio market. If you date the rate, you marry the house. You secure the asset's price now while the national fear is keeping your competition away. You refinance later. This is how local strategy wins. How to win in 2026. So how do you play this board? If you're a buyer, use the national fear to your advantage. Sellers are reading the same scary headlines that you are. They're nervous, and that means they're willing to negotiate. We're seeing concessions right now. Rate bite downs, closing costs covered, that we won't see when the market turns hot again. This is your window of opportunity. Strike when the iron is cold. If you're a seller, stop pricing your home like it's 2022. That market is gone. Price it in reality in 2026. If you price it correctly in the right neighborhood, the UTSA area, Helotes area, Stone Oak, you will move. Quality inventory is still scarce. If your home is turnkey and priced right, it will sell. If you overprice it, pray you become a statistic. Don't guess. Look at the data. Look at the absorption rate in your specific zip code. Real estate is hyper-local, and a national housing crash doesn't matter if your neighborhood has a month and a half of inventory. That is a seller's market, period. So stop letting national headlines dictate your family's financial future. The San Antonio market is resilient because it's built on real jobs, real people, and real growth. It is not a house of cards. If you're ready to stop guessing and start building wealth, you need a strategy, not a news feed. We know where the growth is, we know where the housing math is. Hit that button. Subscribe so you don't miss the next update. Go to our site right here to search for listings and let us know, and let's find the right address for you. Time beats headlines. Search today. Like, share, subscribe.